Acting Hurlock. Minister, you're very welcome to the House this afternoon. I welcome this bill. It is prudent that we examine our financial status in the wake of COVID and seek to put the debt ratio on a downward path, as you told the Dáil last week. The bill comprises of a number of assorted financial measures and tweaks. A miscellaneous bill always affords a useful opportunity to deal with multiple issues at once. I'd like to discuss a few of those with you. Minister, as President of the Eurogroup, what progress has been made in this country in preparation for the minting of the digital euro? I understand that the Central European Bank is actively investigating the prospect, having published a report on payment preferences in March as part of the current phase. Our own central bank in Ireland has done some looking in to central bank digital currencies, which would enable its users to have access to widely accepted, safe and trusted means of payment for the digital age. However, recent global events have given rise to concern over state control of private finances. The extrajudicial freezing of assets and transactions by the Canadian government of individuals deemed associated with anti-government protests provide a chilling case study in the abuse of centralised power. In your opinion, Minister, what protections in this area would be necessary to ensure the continued financial autonomy and privacy of Irish citizens? Secondly, Section 12 of the bill allows for a refund on the increased level of stamp duty levied on bulk purchase housing, where that housing is subsequently used as cost rental housing. I share the opinion of many that last year's increase in stamp duty was not sufficient in dissuading Oireachtas from bulk purchasing residential properties. I sincerely hope that this clause will not undo even that small measure. I understand that this is only in relation to cost rental, as per the Affordable Housing Act, but we are all aware of the unintended consequences of legislation, particularly in all areas as complex as housing. This comes at the same time as the announcement of the new €500 million fund aimed at granting developers up to €120,000 per apartment in order to unblock stalled developments and to make the building of apartments financially viable for developers. It is moves like this that make people that the housing market is being propped up and that we are in for a nasty shock at some point in the future. Across the pond in the US, the biggest financial firms are beginning to use the word recession in light of the continued inflation trends. The country's GDP shrank for the first time since the start of the pandemic. Another quarter of downward trends will meet the technical definition of a recession. Last week, Deutsche Bank became the first major bank to call on impending recession in America. And history shows that any sort of a collapse in a key player like the States has its impact felt on the world over. The question then is, Minister, what are we going to do to prepare? What is your outlook on the global financial near future in terms of inflation and recession, and what steps are being taken on foot of it? Maybe these issues are beyond the scope of this bill, or perhaps some provisions are simply more miscellaneous than others. If the Minister could address them, I would be most grateful. Thank you.